Your first assignment is going to be experiment analysis. Now, this is your first graded assignment. So you've had some practice with analyzing experiments, and now we're going to do it for real. Now, the worksheet that I'm going to give you, you have two different scenarios, so two different stories about experiments that I want you to analyze. But first, I'm going to run through one with you here to kind of show you how I would like for you to do that. So the first scenario, the first story is about Fred. Fred wanted to know what effect the amount of water will have on how plants grow. He thinks that if you give plants too little water, then they will not grow to their full height. 10 seeds were planted in each of 5 identical pots. Each pot contained 250 grams of Christie's potting soil. The pots were given the following amounts of distilled water each day for 30 days. Pot 1, 25, pot 2, 50, pot 3, 100, pot 4, 150, and pot 5, 200 milliliters. Pot 3 received the recommended amount of water according to the seed package. The height of each plant was measured at the end of the experiment. Now what we see here is the data. So we have the pots, remember there were 5 of them, and then the height of the plant. So the first thing that I'll ask you to do is to identify whether or not the pots or the height of the plant is the independent or the dependent variable. And you can look back at your dry mix to figure this out. Now, the easiest one I think to get to is the dependent variable. It's your data. And the data that we collected in this experiment was the height of the plants. So it says that the height of the plants were measured at the end of the experiment. So this is your dependent variable. And again, looking at dry mix, DRY, your dependent variable goes on your y-axis. So that means that the pots, now the pots themselves, they're not the independent dependent variable. It's in the pots we put the different amounts of water. And that was that one thing that we were going to test. So this is your independent variable, and it's going to be on the x-axis. Now we're going to answer some questions. The first one being, what's the problem? What was the question? What was Fred trying to figure out? And Fred was trying to figure out if there's a relationship between water and heights of a plant. So we need to put this somehow in a question format having to do with water and height. What's the relationship? What's the hypothesis? So what's Fred's take on the situation? Does he think water will have an impact on height? Will it be negative? Will it be positive? Does he think that water will not um, have an impact or effect on height? He thinks that if you give a plant less water, then they're not going to grow to their full height. Next are the constants that we could look in this little paragraph and find some things that are consistent in the experiment. They're consistent for the control and the experimental group. So every participant in this group has these factors. Now the participants in this group are 5 different pots of plants. So what did the 5 different pots of plants, what was in common for all of them? And if you look, it tells us that the pots are identical. They had the same amount of soil and the same type of soil, the same type of water, the number of days of the experiment, and then the number of seeds. All of those were consistencies for all 5 pots. Number 4, is there a control group? So there doesn't always have to be a control group. There probably should in most experiments to give a baseline of data, something to go by. So was there one in this experiment? And if so, which one was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and why? Why is that a control and not an experimental group? So yes, there was one. It was pot number 3. And how we know pot number 3 is our standard, it's our gold standard for watering plants, is that it received the recommended amount of water according to the seed package. The experimental groups, and why is it an experimental group instead of a control group? So the experimental groups are going to be the other pots, specifically focusing on pots 1 and 2. Because remember, Fred's hypothesis was he's looking at less water. And why is this experimental? Why isn't it control? It's because they received other amounts of water from what the package recommended 100 milliliters, pot one and two, they don't receive 100 milliliters of water. So that makes them part of the experimental group or the test group. So the independent variable, the one thing that we're altering from pots one, two, three, four, and five, the only thing that we alter is the amount of water that they receive. And remember, it's important that you only have one independent variable. And that could be a source of error, is if you have too many things going on, you're not going to have any way of knowing which one of those caused the results that you end up getting. So I can't change water and number of seeds. I don't know if it's the amount of water that causes the difference in the plant height or if it's overcrowding. I wouldn't know. The dependent variable, dependent is your data, it's your response, it's your reaction that you get in your experiment. And the response that we were looking for in these plants, what we were going to watch for is we were wanting to look and measure their heights. What type of data is being collected and why? Why would I choose quantitative? Well, quantitative, QUAN, N is for numerical data, numerical observations. So what we did with these plants is we just didn't eyeball them and say, that one's pretty tall, or that one's about average. We actually measured them with a tool and we were able to get numbers. And then number nine, the analysis and the creation of your conclusion. So if we look at your data chart, which we could have easily made into a graph, we see that pot number three was the tallest. So it grew to probably its genetic predisposition where it was supposed to grow to. The other ones did not make the mark, not even that one and two. So when plants were given less water, they did not grow to their full height. So with your conclusion, you just can't say, yes, I was right. That's not a conclusion. It's almost like you're beginning by restating your hypothesis. Instead of saying something will or something will not happen, now you're saying that it did or did not happen because you've done your experiment. Now you know for sure. And then something else that's always a best practice is to kind of pull in some information from your data to show that of why your hypothesis was correct or incorrect. So we were right on, or actually, Fred was right on with his hypothesis that less water is going to stunt the growth of these plants. It happened. And we could pull in the examples um, to show from pots one and two about how that is actually what happened.